Hello and welcome to an ABW preview for the Watford v Arsenal game. I have two wonderful guests with me tonight. I have Snarf Hiscock. How you doing, Snarf?
I'm absolutely great. How are you, Danny?
I am.
How
classy.
are you, 2 Point Hospital?
Hey, no, mine is I'm Shep Ivory.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Our other wonderful guest is Zircon Hirschberg. How you doing, Zircon?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you so much for asking.
If there's no children watching, that's your porn star names. It's your first animal and your mum's maiden name. Or in America, I think it's the first street you lived on. But I don't know what street I lived on in London before we met.
Like the porn name would be something where I could get away from being Jewy, but I guess not even the porn name can I get away from.
There you go, boys and girls. A little bit Jewy. Mike can say that because he is.
A little bit rock and roll.
That's the name of your first porn video.
A little bit Jewy. With Zircon Hirschberg. Oh dear.
I love football podcasts.
It certainly is. And we won't tell you what bit's missing. You have to work that out. The giveaway's near the end, literally. Oh dear. Get on with it. I hear no one shout. So we're going to try and get the first part of this done in 15 minutes. Wish us luck. So it is on Sunday at Vicarage Road. It's a 4:30 p.m. in the UK kickoff. God knows what that time. What time is that for you, Andy? That's
I think it's 9:30 in the morning.
Wow. And if you're in LA, then that's going to be 8. That's even bloody worse. You lot need to sort your lives out.
And I'm going to be in Missouri, so it'll be 10:30. Although it would normally be 11:30 if I were at home at the pub. So we got the whole thing covered there now.
There you go. All over it. Right. So can I hear
7:30 a.m. in the middle of the Pacific.
We're not going to give out every bloody time zone, are we? There's 30 of them. We'll be here for an hour.
Yeah, Mike, shut up.
How could there be 30 of them?
Back in your pet cage, Zircon. You, none of your nonsense. Where can you hear and see the game? I hear absolutely nobody asking, but I'll answer it. The UK and Ireland, again, seems this season, they both got the same places. Sky Sports Premier League, Sky Sports Main Event, Sky Go Extra. In Australia, Optus Sport. In Canada, it's DAZN. It's not DAZN, is it? It's DAZN. It's a Z. It's not a Z. Is it a Z, you say?
Yeah, DAZN.
If you use our language, use it properly. And that applies to Australians as well. Hope Dom doesn't hear this because I'll be in trouble. In the good old US of A, it's going to be on NBCSports.com, Telemundo, and NBC SN. Probably that means Sports Network. I don't know.
It does indeed.
Oh, there you go. If you're listening on the radio, it's BBC Radio 5 Live. I've been tempted to put Arsenal player on there, but I don't think they play it live because they're probably too tight. And today's surprise country is Argentina. Hola! It's on ESPN Play and an SUR. I don't know what SUR means. Could be a spelling mistake. I might have cut and pasted it wrong. It could be Shirley. Could be anything like that. I've got no idea. Anyway, head to head, I hear you saying, get on with it. We have played in league games only 24 games. We've won 13. We've drawn 1. And Watford have won 10. Our last... It's not good, is it? How did it help? But I think a lot of that was...
They were all back in 1957, I think.
Yeah, a couple of times back in the 80s. There was only a few... Who's he waving to? Would you like to share with the rest of the class who you're waving to, Snarf?
Sorry, sir.
Your underlings to get away. I'm famousing. Right, I'll ask
the team of interns that he has.
Yeah,
they're all under the table.
Pedicure just shown up at the house.
The snuffer. What are they called in the
fluffer? Snuffers when they do it with their nose.
Always ends up in a bloody gutter. Our last 3 games at Vicarage Road against Watford. Last season, we beat them 1-0 with a goal from Aubameyang in the 10th minute. That was a very poor game. Season before that, Watford beat us 2-1. A goal from Mertesacker in the 39th minute. You know you're in trouble when Mertesacker is the only one who scores a goal for you. And the season before that, we beat them 3-1 with goals from Cazorla. The quietest feet in football. I've not said that in a while. And in the 9th minute, Sanchez in the 40th minute and Ozil in the 45th minute. Of the starting 11 and 11 subs that day, 13 have now left Arsenal.
Very
fantastic.
And those were some. We had some crap. Actually, I think the 3 of us actually did a podcast shortly after that middle game there, the 2-1 loss. That was the Cojones game, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And we did a podcast where we whined and complained for hours on end. But But as for current form, is that what we call it?
It is indeed.
Arsenal's last 5 Premier League away games. We know that this isn't pretty. We've got 2 wins, no draws, 3 losses, most of those coming at the end of last season. 6 goals for, 10 away, or 10 against, and 1 clean sheet. I, on the other hand, have no clean sheets. Watford's last 5 Premier League home games, no wins. Maybe that explains a certain transaction that's happened that we're going to talk about in a bit. 1 draw and 4 losses. They are definitely bang out of form. 4 goals for, 13 against, and 0 clean sheets. Their last home win was in April against a second division team named Fulham.
Oddly, that away record is just identical to Spurs before we played them, but they'd conceded 12, not 13 goals. Your go, Andy.
So they're only slightly better than Watford.
Wait, do I go to injuries? I thought Mike was doing injuries.
So really,
What I'm doing. Mike, your go, Mike. Injuries.
Hector Bellerin has missed 35 games in a row and is now progressing well with ongoing rehab. Obviously, we've seen today's news that he is back on the training pitch. Tierney is continuing or even continuing to receive treatment. And
I had to change that. I couldn't spell continuing.
I thought that might be the English
We all
spelling.
have one word, Danny, where we just cannot spell it no matter how often we practice.
Most of them for me.
Mine's initiative.
His is Mike. Tierney's continuing to receive treatment and further assessments. Of course, we saw Tierney on the pitch today nutmegging Mustafi, which I have spent the entire day watching.
You see his calves and his lower leg muscles.
I mean, if those are muscles that aren't working, then I want to know what my muscles are doing. But Ozil might be back. We've said that every single week. Holding is back in full training with the first team squad. Jacques has been suffering with Achilles tendon pain for a few weeks. There's the built-in excuse, and is a late fitness test. Lucas Torreira took a bump and a knock and a little bit of a niggle. I had to be careful. And is a late and he came off against Costa Rica. Didn't play against the USA on Wednesday in the second one, and we'll see if his muscular discomfort causes him to miss time. But I'm certainly hoping not. As for Watford, only 2, but one of them has cojones that aren't working properly. Troy Deeney's knee cojones are apparently hurt. Is he going to miss that game? I haven't been following their injury drama much lately, but is he a danger of missing that?
Who?
Deeney, or is he out?
Oh, he's out. Yeah, he's out.
Good. All right, good. Fine.
Been out all season.
All right, good.
It's a shame.
Yeah, well, at least they benefit from that because you can't get a red card in this game. And Etienne Capoue is suffering from illness, which I think is lame. But that's it. Andy, you have information that you have cultivated through all day about the form.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research on this, and Watford, it's breaking news. They've just sacked Javi Garcia.
Oh my God, when did that happen?
I know. I mean, like 5 minutes ago. So
you're your very own Sky Sports News.
I know. If you can get a ticker below me, that would be great. Snurf his cock here with breaking news. He managed Watford for 66 games, lost the first 3 of the season, which I think was a big surprise for everyone. They drew their last match, including the League Cup games. They've used 4 different formations in 5 games. I think this is the biggest surprise, that they've just rehired Sanchez Flores back, who managed them in 2015-16, where he won 16 out of 44 games in all competitions, which is not a very good record.
That's why they sacked him. He left to go to Valencia, I think.
He did. So to bring them back, he must be a great relationship guy. But in that season, he used either a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-4-2 in all but 3 of their home games. So he's a little bit consistent on his formation. And Watford players we should look out for, they have 17 players out on loan and another 15 that have been sold or released. And they brought in another 14 players this summer, plus a new manager that is not easy. This season, they have Gray and Hughes on 1 goal each. Their keeper, Ben Foster, has let in 8 goals in 4 games. They've used 20 different players in 4 league matches. And their best 3 fit players are Delafo. What?
This is the smoothest read I've ever heard in my life.
He's not reading it. I didn't write all this down and say, Andy, read it.
There's nothing Andy does better than spur of the moment.
Personally, I think I'm doing fucking excellent with this.
Let's hear you say the next one then. After Delafeu.
Is it Delafeu? Is that really how you say it?
No, it's Delafeu.
Yeah, Delafeu. This guy, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but he's in my fantasy team, and I didn't know he was hurt a couple weeks ago, and I got 0 points. Was
good.
Pereira. And
where's you in that?
What? I thought the U was silent. And then
silent and invisible is at the same time.
And
it's
then
silent. You added it to Pereira.
50 Shades of Grey is also out because of sex, or is doing well because of his sexual. I don't know.
He's still handcuffed to a bed somewhere.
And scene.
Oh dear. Yeah. So the normally I put a list.
Of anything, viewer, at this point, or are you just like, why am I watching this? Other than
if anybody has any idea what any of that meant, feel free to write to us at PO Box 1, London. I think that'll do.
Comment to you,
Mike. What's your prediction for the game?
Pain for Watford. I don't know. I have a pretty good feeling about this. I mean, you think sometimes that with the 97,000 times in the last 5 years that we've faced a brand new manager, and you expect that manager bump. From what I'm hearing in my from my scouts inside Vicarage Road, aka Elton John's son, they're not getting along too well. They're not really happy about the new hire. I don't really think they were thrilled about the firing, despite the fact that they seem to be just kind of headed in the wrong direction. So I don't think this is a team you're going to see come out with a lot of energy. I think they're just going to kind of be ho-hum. So to answer your question, I'm going to go 3-1 because we cannot predict a clean sheet. We just can't. But I'm going to go 3-1 with a inkling that it might be 4-1.
Andy?
I'm going to go.
Yeah,
I said that, but then I decided to make it 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence with this because 14 new players is obviously why they struggled to find their rhythm in the first couple matches, and now you're restarting it with a new manager. That coupled.
We've been training together for 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, but that coupled with Arsenal coming, like we just always are so slow out of the gate after an international break. I think this has got 1-1 written all over it. I think it's one of those games we're going to look back on and just go, those were points dropped when they shouldn't have been. I think we'll dominate, but we'll get a draw.
I'm gonna go. It's a 3-1. I think it's going to be. We're gonna hammer them because if Emery uses his sense and listens to what everyone is probably telling him, we all know our front three. We all know what the midfield should be: Guendouzi, Torreira, and Ceballos. Everyone knows that, and the rest of the formation picks itself. Holding is probably going to be on the bench, possibly.
The formation is like Andy's nose.
What wonderful!
Picks itself.
Hey, so I think as long as he doesn't fuck around a bit too much. And we just go, because those front three, they're going to tear any team that we play against. They're going to give any of them a problem. I think that's what it's all going to come down to. How much Tinkerman V2, which is what he's turning out to be, how much he tinkers with the team. So I think that's it. I think that's all of the talk about that game to go. Mike, so you are doing a wonderful thing for a wonderful cause, aren't you? So tell the wonderful listener what you're doing. It's
a counterbalancing act to basically offset all of the crap that I do and the horrible things that I do in my life. But in fact, we are in the final stretch. We're really, I've been saying we're in the final stretch for the last 3 months, but really 8 days left in the Gooners versus Cancer campaign for 2019. What you're looking at right now, thank you, Danny, is the auction, which is the final piece of the fundraising. We have somewhere around 15 or 16 items up for auction. If you go to goonerauction.com, there's no www, just do goonerauction.com. And I mean, the things that are available to bid on and to win are tickets for, incredible. You're looking at the upper left, you see amazing tickets in the club level for any home game this season. Right now, the bid is somewhere around $475 or $500. Believe me, it's worth that. And even if you live over in the UK, you can bet bid, and you'll pay in pounds. It'll convert it for you. It's all fine. A clock watch from your own Gav. We've talked about it on our podcast. You also gave away one, I believe, about a week or so ago. So if there's anyone that wanted one from the Barbican Pirates auction, didn't get one, and wants one here, there is a very reasonable price still available on that.
And he's never making those again.
Never. This is the only, and all the other ones that he made have been destroyed, so that this one would be more rare and valuable. So we've got tours, Emirates tours, one with a legend, one without, and those were both donated by the club themselves, which was very nice of them to do. We've got artwork, clock end kind of canvases from football canvases or whatever I forget what they're called, but they were very generous to donate a few of those. Got a few kind of pranks that you can play if you like yourself some Lee Judges and you like to hear him say silly stuff. You can donate to charity, and he'll announce a starting 11 that he won't be able to pronounce, and also say some sexy stuff to you if you want. So, I mean, where else are you going to get that? You're not going to get that anywhere. Got 100 pounds worth of food. That's English sterling, not actual weight of the food, from what's the place? Oh, Piebury Corner. Dinner for four on a game day. Amy Lawrence is signing her 89 book, which comes out in a couple of weeks, personally to you, and got Europa League tickets given out by Tollington. So there's a ton of stuff on here. For some reason, the prices on there are not. I mean, it confounds me, but there's not a tremendous amount of bids on a lot of these items, and the bids are below what you would pay for these items if you just bought them directly. 2 Europa League game tickets you can get, and right now the bid is a lot less than they would cost. Same is true with the tours and the canvases. So bid on this stuff. You're getting great stuff. You're also giving to charity. And so far this year, in the last couple months, between the tour to the States, the fundraising that we've done, we've been able to raise. It's going to end up being right around $13,000 to $15,000 to fight Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So it's just been amazing. And when we have people like you, Danny, and our other friends in the podcasting world and the club themselves kind of helping out with that, it's big things ahead. But yeah, get the hell on that website and get yourself some stuff. That's all I'm going to say.
So if people want, how do they pay? Can they pay with PayPal, or do you have to register your credit card? How does that work?
That's a great question. Actually, when you go on the website, you do have to register, which I would imagine may put some people off. But the reason you have to register your name and email address on there, that's it, is because otherwise people could just go on and put bogus bids on there and no one would ever know anything. So
that happens a lot on eBay. It ruins it.
We'll have your name and your email address, but obviously you'll be serious about your bid. You're not actually bidding and paying anything through this. When you win the contest, I'll be reaching out to you, and then you'll donate directly to the LLS through our Gooners versus Cancer website.
So you're not giving your money to a strange website that you've never heard of.
Absolutely not. You're not giving your money to the auction website. You're not giving your money to me. You're not paying a 3% fee. You're basically going to be donating directly to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and getting your prize and your winnings directly from the vendor. So Gav or from Arsenal or otherwise.
So say if I wanted any of the tickets, are they for any specific game, or do you pick the game?
Well, we've got two sets. One is the tickets given by the Tollington are for any Europa League home match. So that's in the group stage. So there's really 3 options, and one of them I think is the day after tomorrow. So there's probably 2 options there. The other ones, the club level tickets that Jack Stevenson has donated, are for any game you choose. But there were some limits as to the minimum bid for Category A games versus Category B games. So right now, basically, if you won the tickets, it'd be for any Category B or below game. Category A, there has to go a little bit higher. And there may be some more tickets going up within the next week donated by the club that are for any game that you want this season. You pick the game. So just keep checking back. There's stuff that's getting added all the time, but it's for charity, folks. That's all I got to say.
I think for the club level tickets, they're the ones I got from Ticket Share for the Villa game in a couple of weeks. And they said that you get a free program each and you get free drinks. And I thought, well, I don't drink. Sean's driving, so she ain't going to be able to drink. So I don't know how much they're going to give away if you're a very thirsty drinker. Like I know, Mike, you like a shandy.
I sat in these tickets with Lee. I guess it was the Wolves. No, it was the Blackpool game in the Cup, or either that or Liverpool. And at halftime, we went out into the thing, and there's free drinks, and I just basically asked for an entire bottle of red wine and finished it. So you got to take advantage of.
And Mike is no longer allowed at the Emirates.
Yes, I'm auctioning these tickets off and not using them myself because I'm not permitted there anymore.
So with some of the ones that I like the idea of is the one with the judge. So you can the idea with that is you're going to try and make him look as silly as possible, and being the good sport that the judge is, he's going to go along and do basically whatever you want for only $20, which is about
that's the starting bid. And frankly, right now,
bid.
Yeah, really. I mean, I should have placed that at $99, but 20. You got to get the bids going. There were some other things on here that have already been bought, like the shootout. If you've not seen the shootout that Andy and I did in Denver back in July, that was the product of a $100 donation from the New Orleans Supporters Club.
And that's the one Andy let you in. He said it to the camera just before he took his penalty.
He said that, and it didn't mean a thing. I won
fair and square. Thank you.
I did an incredible celebratory dance afterwards. And it's the best piece of video that's ever been made.
Snarf Hiscock likes to share the love, if you get what I'm saying.
So when does all this? When's the last time we can enter? Or if people just want to donate money, where can they go? If they don't want to buy anything,
if they're not interested in buying anything, you can always go to GoonersVersusCancer.com. It's a direct donation website, and that's accepting donations. The auction itself is going to close on 20 September. Which is a week from tomorrow.
What's our total at, Mike, now? 13,000?
It's right around 13, possibly. There's committed money to the auction that if you include that, it'd be a little over 14. So I think we're going to cross 15 this year. We were at $4,500 last year. It's grown by leaps and bounds. The summer tour did not hurt us, our efforts at all. It was awesome, the fundraising we did over the summer, and that won't happen every year. But hey, I mean, the cooperation and the support that we've gotten from American Gooners around the world, people donating nice things over in the UK, over here in the US, it's just it's a real feel-good thing to do. And so I appreciate the help in getting it grown and in spending some time talking about it.
When does the bidding close, or are you just leaving it open until you think it's about the right time?
Which?
When's the bidding for the items? Because didn't you extend it recently so people could get a longer chance to get?
I did. 45 seconds ago, I told you when it was going to be over, and you weren't listening.
Someone sent me a message, and I was muting my phone, so I didn't hear.
20th of September, a week from today, or no, a week from tomorrow on Friday in the afternoon. I think it'll close, but I'll be sending out some tweets. And if you ever have any questions about the fundraiser, you can go to Twitter at Gooners versus Cancer. You can also reach us at the Gooners Pod on Twitter as well. The same person runs the same people run the Twitter account. So yeah, that's the fundraiser.
That's jolly good to people. If you want to go and help a good cause and go and get yourself some mighty fine prizes, and if you go to a game and you and then let Lee know, he might even buy you a half pint.
That's all he does. They stock up on half pint glasses in the club level just for him and half pint sandwiches.
That's it. They've got 3 half-pint glasses, and they've all got his name written on the bottom of them. Right, have we covered everything there, gentlemen?
I think we've covered it in glory.
Yeah. Snarf likes to make sure everything is covered.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to come and watch your wonderful shows, which I hardly ever miss one unless someone forgets to tell me that you're on?
The Gooners Pod, YouTube, iTunes. Find us on Twitter. Our last pod this week was with Stu McFarlane.
Yeah,
really fun one.
That was really, really interesting. Tell the people who he is.
Mike?
Stuart McFarlane.
He's a photographer for Arsenal.
MB. Stretch it out. Yeah, he's the chief photographer for Arsenal. Real interesting guy. Great guest. He was completely relaxed, comfortable with us. Answered just about all the questions that we could have asked. So if you haven't checked that out, I'm told it's a good listen, a good watch. On Monday, we're due to have James from the Arscast Gunner blog on with us, so you'll be seeing maybe I just jump the gun on saying that, but we'll have an announcement on that on Twitter tomorrow. So, and we have just been joined by we 2 has become 3, Andy, on the Gooners.
Yeah, we've got a new member to our squad. His name is B, and he is kind of doing
possible.
His what?
The shortest name possible. It's just one letter.
His name is B, and he is. We're basically his interns now.
Yeah, he is everything that we're not. He's creative. He's professional. He's energetic. He knows things about stuff, and especially videos and computers and social media and stuff. So we're going to just continue to be somewhat of jackasses, and then B's going to just bring our podcast into the real world.
Danny, do you know when someone agrees to something and then instantly regrets their decision? We're
seeing signs of that already.
Once that ink was dry, he's yours.
Yeah.
There's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as we can hold on to him, we're a threesome now. Which surprisingly, we're not posting things to Pornhub anymore. Just as we become a threesome.
And that Stuart McFarland podcast. Sometimes I've been doing podcasts for 7 years now, and occasionally we've had people on who aren't podcasters, and they are dry as a nut's chuff with terrible equipment. He sounded like he'd been podcasting for 30 years. Every question is brilliant. Such great insight into what he does, how long he's been doing it. The one where he said what was the best transfer he was involved in, that story is, I'm not going to tell you it, but that story is really good.
Yeah, and that dropped the hammer. That was pretty badass.
It's very good. I really
the
enjoyed
only reason
it.
he didn't come on camera was because
he didn't have a camera.
He had just given his son a bath and got soaking wet, and so he's like, I'm literally wrapped in a towel, and I didn't want to make you guys wait. So otherwise, he would have joined us on cam, which would have been great. So hopefully, we can get him back again. He was a lot of fun.
And then you will see now that you've discovered a little gem, he will be stolen by all of the other podcasts because they're dirty trollops.
I don't know. I mean, that it's certainly okay with us if he does, but I don't see. There have been a few guests that we've had on where, in the 3 following weeks, everybody and their mother had them, was asking or had the same person on. But I don't know. And if he does, that's great. But
weirdly, no one's grabbed John Bergkamp yet.
No, I think he's a little busy at the moment, and no one else has had Joey Murphy on.
Oh.
Mother trucking Murphy. And John Bergkamp, although he is a bit of a knob in the House of Parliament, he was a really interesting guest. I don't think he knew what he let himself in for, did he?
I don't understand how he agreed to come on our podcast, but
he was the most famous people in the world at the moment. And he's
brilliant. His knowledge of Arsenal is unparalleled. The deal
was we weren't going to get into politics because, A, his position, and B, we're an Arsenal podcast. So on that front, where it was about Arsenal, whether you like the guy or whether you don't, whether you like his politics or not, I think, I'd like to think it was interesting. And I hear he's going to have some free time on his hands in a few months. So I'm hoping that we'll have him on again.
And he is rumored to be going. He's rumored to be going into I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So when he does go on that, you make sure that you tweet that podcast quite a few times.
Absolutely.
Because think, he's brilliant, and then go and watch it. So we've been blabbering on here like old women. One more time, Mike, the website address for the Gooners versus Cancer.
It's for the auction. It's goonerauction.com or goonersversuscancer.com for the general website. And the stories on there, kind of why we do what we're doing, and a couple other cool things is on there. So check it out if you don't mind. We appreciate your support. Gooner family is strong, man.
There you go, people. So finally, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Mike.
Thank you for having us. Looking forward to having you back on with us soon.
Oh, yeah, you little tease. And thank you very much, Snarf Hiscock. You have been wonderful tonight.
You're very welcome. Hopefully I fulfilled your
expectations.
Your needs.
Your mouth.
Coming to a bookshelf near you soon. Thank you very much, and good night.